Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Welcome to another exciting edition of EP Live. Thanks for joining us today. This rundown is going out to a brand new member of the EPN posse, Jim Cole. Thank you so much for your support. This rundown is all for you. After years of waiting, Gearbox has finally announced the next Borderlands game, and nope, it's not Borderlands 3. The shooter RPG franchise is stepping into the world of virtual reality. Gearbox has announced Borderlands 2 VR, a new version of the 2012 game reimagined for VR headsets. It doesn't have multiplayer, but does include the entire original single-player campaign, complete with reimagined controls and VR-specific skills, like the ability to slow down time and teleport across the map. Borderlands 2 VR will land December 14th exclusively on the PlayStation VR headset, but it's unclear if Gearbox will be bringing the game to other VR platforms at some point in the future. You know what? This is a good move for Gearbox because they've been sort of dabbling with some VR games that they want to publish. This is an exceptional game that has stood the test of time, and obviously they've put some development resources in there to kind of make it a better fit for VR. It is a cool sort of notch in the, I want to give that a shot kind of department, but I still feel like VR really needs brand new properties, brand new ideas, and things that we're also kind of already familiar with. So I guess Borderlands 2 kind of qualifies in that department. But I'm, you know what I want to say. Where's my Star Wars VR game? Where's my X-Wing versus TIE Fighter? But this is cool, and I'm looking forward to giving it a shot. And hopefully, it's really fun. Microsoft has their head in the cloud when it comes to revolutionizing the video game industry. They've officially unveiled Project xCloud, their long-awaited game streaming service that they first teased at E3 earlier this year. Like other game streaming services like PlayStation Now, Project xCloud allows users to instantly stream games from an external server rather than downloading them locally, which means all the number crunching is done in the cloud. The thing that makes Project xCloud unique is that Microsoft is planning to bring it to a multitude of different devices, not just the Xbox One or PC, which means you'll be able to stream console-quality games like Halo 5 and Forza Horizon 4 on a tablet or smartphone, as long as you've got a fast enough internet connection. Microsoft hopes that this will make gaming much more accessible, which they think will be a big win for the industry. The first public trials begin next year. Yeah, I mean, once we've got fast enough internet everywhere, or even in the major cities that can make businesses like this really successful, this is going to become a huge game changer. I think the idea that we are going to stream games like we stream movies on Netflix and Disney's service and DC Universe and Amazon movies, I think this is going to be a really big part of the future of video games, and obviously Microsoft does too. Sony's already ventured into that department. We've got the Nintendo Switch streaming some huge console titles already on that platform in Japan. Make no mistake, this is going to be a big deal as long as people have got internet, speeds that they can get all of this content properly, and also it's not priced out of whack and out of control. But I think the idea of having all-you-can-eat buffets of games, and Xbox is already kind of doing that with their Game Pass, it's a big part of the future of video games, man. It's very cool. All right, it looks like Sony Pictures has formed a very symbiotic relationship with Marvel anti-hero Venom. The ravenous new movie devoured the competition over the weekend to earn just over $80 million domestically, giving it the biggest October opening in history. This all but guarantees that Sony Pictures will be moving forward with a sequel. Although no official announcements have been made, star Tom Hardy, director Ruben Fleischer, and others have stated that they have plans for a second film, not to mention the fact that a new villain is teased at the end of the first film. Not only are we likely getting more Venom movies, but Sony Pictures also has plans to create solo movies based on other Spider-Man villains, including Morbius the Living Vampire and the Master Magician Mysterio. And I guess what's going to get strange is how it's all going to interweave with the MCU version of Spider-Man. I mean, that was the big missing element when I saw Venom just before Comic-Con. And I just feel like, oh my God, we really need to kind of figure this stuff out, because the character of Venom as portrayed by Tom Hardy and his effects team is very impressive, and I think that it would be cool to kind of mix him up with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. But I don't know how they do that without sort of throwing Venom into the mix with the other MCU heroes. I think that it wasn't a great movie, but I think it was an all-right movie in much the same way that the Hulk movie that Edward Norton did was a pretty fun movie as well, and it kind of fits into the MCU as well. so it's kind of in that ballpark, but it definitely is missing other elements. Yeah, I mean, congrats to Tom Hardy. I think he really put some effort into making his role better than it was written. It was pretty fun. I mean, there was some fun bits in this thing. It was nonsense, but it was pretty fun. Definitely a cool character, but man, it would be so much better to have Spider-Man and Venom on the screen together. My guess is that we're moving towards that. All right, developer Telltale Games is shut down, but their last project is rising from the dead. The Walking Dead comic creator Robert Kirkman has swooped in to save Telltale's unfinished game, The Walking Dead: The Final Season. Kirkman's own Skybound Entertainment has inked a deal to finish the final 2 episodes, as well as take ownership of the first 2 episodes, which Telltale was able to finish before closing their doors last month. Best of all, Skybound is working with former members of the original Telltale development team to complete the game. No word yet if they'll continue working with those developers on future projects, and also no word on when the final 2 episodes will be released. That's some pretty great news. That's some good karma, I think, being put back into the video game industry. Obviously, the Telltale Walking Dead games have been very good to Robert Kirkman and Skybound. I think this was the exact appropriate response to this situation, and it really is a way to kind of, curry favor with the fans, but also to take care of some of the people that were wrongfully shaken up in their careers by all of this terrible stuff happening around Telltale. I think that's awesome. So kudos to Kirkman and his team. I hope these games or these chapters turn out great, and I hope that they turn out so well that Skybound has a real sort of crisis of conscience and says, hey, you know what? Maybe there's some more that we can do with these interactive comic book slash video game story episodic things that Telltale was putting together. Maybe Skybound could do some stuff like that. I think they do a great job with that. So I'm happy to hear that. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for our rundown today. Now it's time for This Day in Everything Cool.